How you doing? I've got, geez, these don't help the glare. I've got 1 million views, I think, which is pretty cool. Only 13,999,000,000 to go until I'm at the same level as PewDiePie, so something to aim for. But anyway, so for this little milestone, I've wound back the clock to where it all began. The little tool that I was so excited to have, and I wanted to tell everyone about, that I shot my own little YouTube video on it, inspired by Nut and Fancy and all those, all the types that have been doing this for a bit longer than me. That was 4 years ago now. It's Leatherman Skeletool CX. So let's have another really long-term look after 4 years of using the Skeletool and see how it goes, and how it still has gone, and how it has gone, and how it goes. As you can see, the time hasn't made me a more eloquent speaker. Let's get down to it. So I carry my Leatherman Skeletool on a belt loop like this. It does have a pocket clip, but I find the pocket clip's a little bit unbalanced. It's too far on one side, so it does rock a bit around in your pocket. So I've always carried it just on my closest belt loop to the belt buckle, and there it clasps and unclasps really easy. I'm sort of self-conscious for the video, but you can generally find it without needing the second hand at all. So it's got great retention systems. Some people do prefer it in the pocket with the pocket clip, and that's totally fine, just not for me. After you've had a few good pocket knives with good pocket clips, you find this one's a little bit lackluster, but there you go. So this is the tool. It comes with a pair of pliers, which have the wire cutters and knurling and all that sort of business. It comes with a set of screwdrivers, so it comes with a main driver, which for me right now, I've been carrying a Torx wrench, a mini and or a mini hex or a mini Torx, one of the two, mini Torx, and that's great for taking knives apart. And then in the other handle, you've got the other driver that you want to take. So I've got a Phillips, which is probably the most commonly used driver there. So it's my little rig and setup, but you can get the Leatherman bit kit. Usually you get it with a large multi-tool, or you can get it on its own, and you can choose which ones you want to have on your Skeletool all the time. The carabiner will also open bottles and retain to your belt loop or your backpack or whatever. And then the other main tool obviously is the knife. So the knife is a 154 cm, quite nice little sheep's foot-ish blade. Like, it's still got enough tip on it, and it's got a pretty good blade still for a multi-tool. Leatherman do some in S30V, but 154 cm, you really do notice the extra edge retention in this one. It goes for a lot longer than my other Leatherman knives do. I've used this a hell of a lot, so it's probably a couple of millimeters shorter on all fronts as to where it was when it started. Remember, one of the first things I did when I first got it was I cut a sheet of sandpaper, and not only did I not learn from that, I did it again fairly recently. I just thought, if I just do it gently from the back, it'll do it. Nah, chip. Sandpaper's going to be rotten on your blades, and that was just like a push cut. Anyway, so I fixed that on the Tormac now, which is kind of what inspired me to do this review, because I've been using it and it's great, and it still is great. So it's a liner locking knife. The liner lock, someone pointed out in my last 3-year review that the liner lock does go over a fair way. So let's have a look at that. It does. It's sort of getting towards that 110% lockup. So when you let it go, it does spring back to that, but it can be pushed over a little bit perhaps more than you'd want it to go. But in terms of being secure, completely secure. Like, you can't close that at all. I'm pushing really hard. So, I mean, you wouldn't want to be battening with this thing or anything like that, but pretty good for a locking multi-tool knife. So really the knife does kind of put this into a realm of, you can use this as a knife replacement. It's a shorter knife, it's under 3 inches, so it's legal most places where you can carry knives at all, and it's got a pretty good utility grind. It is a bit thicker in terms of stock, so it's a fairly thick stock knife. It's about on the 3mm, so it's like your Mora Companion type thickness. I'll grab a Mora Companion and show you. So you see that? It's sort of got that kind of pretty decent thickness for a pocket knife blade, and as the knife is getting sharpened and shorter, I've had to sort of pull the bevel back a little bit just to keep it slicing really well. So it's still a fine slicer, and I actually use it a fair bit to just cut all sorts of things, say like cardboard, cheese for the dogs when they've been good boys and girls and they deserve a cheesy snack. All sorts of things really. So the knife is great. The pliers Pliers, no problems at all. It's a comfortable gripping pair of pliers as well. So it fits the full hand pretty well. Sometimes you might want to take the drive route if you've got something particularly narrow in there, but really for your odd jobs that you're going to be doing this with, like you're not going to be taking this to a building site or anything like that, but for odd everyday carry type jobs, tasks that you might come across in everyday life, they're about as good a pliers as you would need in my opinion. The whole design of the tool is really, really snazzy. I think I love the black and silver. I like the ergonomics on both the knife, which is sort of more thoughtful than you would think, and the pliers in general, and the tool in general. It's kind of comfortable to have a fistful of no matter what you're doing with it. So overall, it's worn really well. So 4 years, nowhere near being clapped out yet, and the best thing about it is, as long as the being clapped out happens in 25 years, Leatherman will send me a brand new one for nothing. So, I mean, it really is pretty much a tool for life. I'm pretty sure on the 24th year, you'd find yourself having a mysterious accident and getting yourself a brand new Leatherman Skeletool CX or equivalent, whatever they're selling at that point. So very, very cool. The whole package is highly recommended, and it is really one of the best EDC things you can get. This is one of the few tools I'm happy that I will never sell and I will always have one of, because sometimes truly a knife isn't welcome at all, and a multi-tool is, and it's just one of those funny things, the way people perceive things. So a multi-tool like this, people think that's really cool even if they're not knife people, and the fact that it has a knife on it is really overlooked. It's really, really funny. So I'll wear this at, like, say family gatherings of like people who I haven't really met yet, who are in my family. So say you go to something bigger where people get a bit weird about, oh, you've got a pocket knife. Yeah, I do, but it's stuck on my multi-tool, which is what most men carry. You probably got your dad a multi-tool for Father's Day, didn't you? Oh yeah, I did actually. Cool. Well, let's not talk any further about that then. Let's cut some sausages. So it's that kind of talk that makes Leatherman Skeletools a great option for a knife replacement in a lot of circumstances. So there we are. Anyway, thanks for watching me a million times, you all, and I hope you've enjoyed my channel so far. I do try and keep the content fresh and swift for you, delivering it quickly and as fast as I can and as good as I can. Some months I'll have better ideas than other months, but as long as you're enjoying seeing me and my cool bits of gear and my dogs and my occasional adventures, then by all means stay subscribed, and please tell all your friends about Cedric and Ada Gear and Outdoors. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.